daily prayer requests and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I think those have become like a non-negotiable now. Like
Same.
Jesus, like prayer, adoration. I mean, at least at this point in our lives, I think that is like something that needs to be constant.
No, straight facts, man.
I think like practically also the same as you, like working out regularly. I think one of the biggest things is I need to be more intentional with how much sleep I get.
Ooh.
Like, I think that's such a game changer for me of making sure that, like, I sleep earlier so that I can wake up earlier. Because, like, there's a discipline there that I think I have yet to master. And obviously, there aren't that many jobs that give you flexibility in hours. And most things start in the morning.
Yeah.
And you need like the like, you know how we talk about like first victories, and like, you know, for some people, and shout out to Freddie's brother Edwin,
Edwin
who
Jr.
who listens to the podcast, saying, you know, cleaning your bed is the first victory. Making your bed is the first victory. So shout out to you, Edwin. For me, I think I'm starting to realize that the first victory is the night before.
Yeah.
Like how well I sleep the night before is my first victory. And then from my conversations with Andre, like the next victory after that is like, what do I first do when I open my eyes? Yeah. Do I look at my phone, or do I do so-and-so, or do I pray? Do I go on my knees and pray? And so like, that's what I'm trying to be more. I'm just trying to overall be more of an intentional person. Not just with others, but just with myself first. Like, I can't be intentional with others if I'm not even intentional with myself. So, like, with fasting or with, like, working out, those are disciplines that you work on your own. Yeah. Before you, like, are intentional with others.
Yeah, that's a you problem,
and cleaning,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a you problem. And,
the basics give us the foundation to go on to the greater virtues. But just having a discipline, like organized, like life.
Yeah.
No matter how smart you are, how good you are, like, you know, if those things aren't in order, you're not gonna be the best you could be.
Yeah. I think if we ever do Exodus, and I think like, what would be a great fruit from Exodus is if I just like not game at all, man. Like that's a hope and a prayer. Yeah. And I think it's going well right now. Whether that goes well after Exodus, I don't know. Because it's like,
you know what? There's only one person that can help you with that. And that's God.
Yeah, Jesus. Saves.
Yo, but also too, he also gave you brothers for accountability, and you guys are going to rise up, right?
This is true.
No.
Yeah, we
am. Yeah. So.
And we're leaving your phone back here, AJ.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wait, what? What? I actually didn't get the joke.
We're gonna leave your phone back here.
Oh,
this is in Mississauga, Brampton.
You already have my old phone.
I have one of them. And what are you doing with the new one, huh?
Lord have mercy. So, but yeah, actually going back on that, like, I think we were having that conversation was it last night or 2 nights before? When we were like, well, you know, what are we going to talk about at the podcast? Yeah. And we were just talking about, like, you know, like, let's talk about like our brotherhood or for women, their sisterhood. Yeah, but like, what does our brotherhood look like? What makes our brotherhood different from all our different friendships? Like, because we were eating together and we're like, there's something special here, but what makes this so special?
What are the components, right?
Yeah.
And to start off, and I think we talked about this during our friendship podcast, but we talked about that third transcendent, right? And Christ being our keystone and the one that unites us. And I think first and foremost, I think what makes our brotherhood special is Christ, man. Because I have other close bros, right? Very close bros, but not in the faith, right? Or not in the faith yet. But it's not as like tight knit and even like the level of accountability and pushing, like they do push me to be better in other areas. But like, tangible areas like school and academics and work and stuff like that, which are good, good things to be pushed in. But I think
agree.
in like, human formation too,
Mm-hmm.
the unifying element of Christ brings about a different journey, right? That can only be brought about through faith, through that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I've
So
noticed.
I think accountability is very important, but there's beyond accountability, because I've seen people that are just accountable for one another,
Yeah.
and some of their friendships like don't even last.
Well, that's our first Exodus group, right?
Mm-hmm.
True.
Like
Rip.
we were accountable,
Yeah.
but like after that first Exodus finished, like a couple of us in the group, we did not continue to nurture that friendship, and
Yeah.
it's like, we're more acquaintances now, right? Oh, we did that thing together like back in the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it just goes to show that like accountability is not enough, but it is good, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what else makes our brotherhood, special?
What I think is that, so we have the accountability, but it's a twofold. There's the tandem of trust and vulnerability,
Okay,
which
right.
is very powerful. I have friends who I have a 20-year friendship with, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, wow, our friendship level is so surface level. It's based on like basketball or soccer, or we'll talk about, but I never get to like go into who are you like inside. I know all about your like sports and blah 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 and all these activities that you like and that we like doing together, but like who are you in the depth when you remove the mask?
Yeah.
Who are you? And it's incredible, because I feel with us that we've had to we've willingly been like, you know what, I trust you enough, and I'm going to be vulnerable enough that I can remove this mask so you can see me exactly who I am like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you allow somebody into that, like that's a lot. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
No, that trust is very important as well, as we continue to like entrust one another's hearts to one another, like to say like, hey, I know you'll have my back. Like I know that sometimes we'll have our differences, and sometimes we will get into our arguments. But just because we do doesn't mean that I stop loving you, or I stop myself from being loved by you. Like at the end of the day, yes, you've hurt me and I've hurt you, but I still trust you. Like that is a deep friendship.
Yeah.
Right. And so, accountability and trust, I think, are fundamental.
Yeah.
And being able to meet up with the other person and lovingly like just correct them, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
Most people don't want that.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to
Definitely
go into that like
Yeah.
at all, like, or they stay away. They're like, I'd rather not like jeopardize this friendship. And I'm like, if your friendship is worth anything, like,
it's like I'd rather not rock the boat because I don't know how to swim,
yeah,
or I don't think that our friendship can survive in the water.
Yeah.
But when it comes to brotherhood, I think what also is what makes our brotherhood, I think obviously the Lord takes us deeper in our friendship, and He is the center, the source, the summit, the very foundation of our friendship. But also, I feel like there's a mixture of like a healthy balance of deepness and shallowness, if that makes sense. Where like it's like the ocean, where we can only really see the true beauty of the ocean when we can go above the surface and see the horizon, but we also can go deep. So like when we can have fun with each other, joke around, be like, yo, how's the Raptors doing? Like, but that's not. But after we like have that, then we go deeper.
Yeah.
Not just like there, but then also like we can play board games together. Like also enjoy those fun things in life, but also go to the things that are really deep in life. So I think there's a healthy balance in that. And I think another thing that makes our brotherhood strong is that you really only know the quality of the friendship when you have faced adversity, whether it's together in the sense that you're facing a goal and that you've been able to accomplish or overcome that together, or with each other, like having adversity with each other. Like after an argument with each other, we're like, is this like, because it's like, how can you be faithful to a marriage if you can't even be faithful to your friend who loves you, and you love him, or for the women that you love her and she loves you, but then you're like, oh no, it's not worth it anymore. Like we had a big fight. Like, oh, what? If you can't even be faithful to that, which like I don't know.
Yeah, it reminds me of this one time, my buddy Joseph. Shout out Joe, because I know he's going to be listening to this. But he's one of my all-time bros, and we actually had a project together back at Sheridan. It was a plant layout project, and him and I, we were supposed to be on the same team, right, completing this project, and I think he was going to do a lot of like the preliminary stuff, right? So I was sending him like text, hey Joe, like how's the project coming along? And this was like probably months or weeks before it was actually due, right? Because like it was a big project, and he's like, yeah, just working on it, and cut like I think about 2 weeks maybe a week before the due date. He just started ghosting me, right? I was like, dude, hey, how's it going? What's going on? Are you done it? Or like what can I do? When can I come in? Like what's the play here, right? And he was just not talking to me, man. And I was like, oh, I'm so livid with this guy, right?
Yeah.
Like so livid with this guy, because it was due during exams, right? And at Sheridan at college, you generally do all your exams in 1 week, right? It's not split up over things, right? So I had like 6 exams that week, and this huge project, right? This huge project to do, and I was emailing my prof, and I was like, prof, like my guy, he bailed on me. What do I do? And my prof's like, you're gonna fail, Ken. Oh, unless you submit this project. And I'm like, damn, Ted, why do you have to do this to me? So I spent like I think two or three overnighters, like just doing crunching
back to back.
Yeah. Crunching out this project, bro. Yeah, it was intense. And it was like this 60-page like thing at the end of it. But like through this like conflict with Joe, things were a little rough for like a couple weeks, and all our buddies were like, yo, you guys hear Ken and Joe broke up?
Dead.
But through this, I think like it was one of the moments where I like truly forgave this dude and learned what forgiveness was. Because man, it was such a point of like tension.
Was it your first time working together?
No. Oh. Him and I, we've been doing the race car stuff right at Sheridan. We started in our race car engineering team, and he was one of the faithful at the beginning. So we spent a lot of time working with each other, but up until that point, I don't think we've had too many conflicts, right? And this was like a big like, yo, you can affect my life kind of conflict, right?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Where it's just like you guys are like good, like strong friends.
Yeah.
But like you guys have never fought.
Yeah.
And it's just like interesting.
So
the friendship starts after the fight.
Yeah.
After the first proper
And I think relationships, when people get into relationships and they're like, oh yeah, we're still in the honeymoon phase. We haven't fought. Oh my Lord. How long? Like you haven't fought?
Yeah.
There's not one thing about them that annoys you?
There has to be.
You got to take those rose-colored glasses off and crush them. Right? Get a look at the real thing.
Instead of just looking at the petals, start looking at the thorns.
Yeah, right.
Start holding the thorns.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was just one instant that popped into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know I love that guy. Love Joseph. He's a solid man, a great man.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And also, so praise God for having that.
Yeah, man.
I think it's so important. Like, don't we all think that having good, strong, same-sex relationships are so important? I think relationships with the opposite sex is already complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't even straighten out like our same-sex friendships, what makes me think? I don't even know how it's possible to have good, healthy opposite sex friendships if you can't even have strong, good.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because, like, I know
that's what I was reflecting.
Yeah,
on.
I know some guys that just have girlfriends and some girls that just have guy friends, right? And yeah, it's a bit of a spicy situation. And some like some girls like